What's up, everybody? Welcome to this latest episode of FM's Funko Features, and as usual, we're kicking things off here with a featured collection, and this featured collection belongs to David, the Cajun Funko Collector. Now, of course, as I move through the images that he sent, I'm also going to share the email that he sent my way. Love the community you have on your channel, and as someone who comments often, I figured it was time to show my collection. And you see the pictures that I chose to share here. They include his Star Wars collection, which he does have some movie moments and at least one pop ride there out of box. When it comes to the movie moments in the pop rides, I think a lot of time they actually do display much better out of the box. You know, that's if you have a good space for it. And then to the right there, the Star Wars figures you see there, you see a lot of Smuggler's Bounty figures, some convention exclusives, which yeah, if you're going to be a Star Wars completionist at least somewhat, you definitely have to stay on your toes to get all those figures. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with May the 4th this year. Moving along here with the email, it says it all started with those power rings, and the power rings he's referring to, you can see them there to the right on that shelf. They are the Green Lantern or the Lantern Corps power rings. Continuing back to the email, it says, I take my daughters on birthday dates every year, and my oldest 2 years ago wanted to go to the comic book store. My heart leapt for joy. Well, she got a few comics, but she also got the power rings. That made me want to start to collect something too, and I discovered Funko Pops. And before we move on here, I really do like the look of those power rings there together, but I also like how this shelf, and I'm assuming this is one of his daughter's shelves, has all these different types of figures there together. You see mystery minis, you see some Metals die-cast minis, some plushes there. I just always like to see a mix like that in a collection. I stick to mainly DC, Marvel, and Star Wars. I'm a huge fan of the Jim Lee collection and the Venomized collection. And yeah, I really do like the look of his Venomized collection. Pretty much looks like my own because like him, I think I have all of the Venomized figures, all the Venom figures, except he has one that I don't. I never got the box lunch exclusive anti-Venom. That's one that I do need to track down. But yeah, I think those Venom figures display together very well. Again, you see that he has a couple of figures out of box, including the movie moment there of Thor versus Thanos. Maybe it's just me. I still love that movie moment. It still bugs me just a little bit that they have that. It has that paint flaw where the hands aren't painted on Thor, but you know, it's still pretty cool looking overall there. And then of course you see even more Marvel and also some DC there all the way to the right. So he has things pretty well organized here. That definitely makes it look very cool. I don't go running after chases. I have a total of 2 in my collection, but will get them if they are interesting. I prefer to hunt pops rather than purchase online, but I will if the store is too far away. I am not huge on box conditions. If the box is bad, I display them out of box. And yeah, I've been doing that more and more. I've been displaying some pops out of box, so I definitely get that, and try not to stress too much over box condition because that really can take some of the fun out of pop collecting if you stress over it too much. Now, of course, you know, companies need to do their part and try not to ship out damaged merchandise, but yeah, it can be a little bit stressful when you worry about box damage just too much. So yeah, some little things I think we can overlook as collectors, and I think even with if you're worried about possibly the resale of figures, if somebody really wants a figure, you know, they might overlook those minor box flaws. So in the long run, it's not really something big to stress. Okay, so that was really the end of his email there, and I do appreciate him sending the email the way, and also, you know, sharing his collection here with us. And yeah, his fandoms, you know, I don't collect Star Wars myself, but I'm definitely heavily into Marvel and DC, and already, like I've been saying, this looks like a very good year for DC Comics with Funko, and I do agree that the Jim Lee pops are pretty interesting. I still kind of want to go and pick up that Aquaman one, which he actually did have in his collection. As a matter of fact, you see it pictured here. So yeah, that Aquaman Jim Lee is one I'm considering picking up because I really do like the look of that. But yeah, one more time, David, thank you so much for sharing your collection with us. And if you're interested in sharing your own collection, you see the details here of how you can do so. And I'm still, you know, combing through the emails that I have received, and I'm definitely looking for people that, you know, basically followed the directions and really gave me enough to work with. So be on the lookout for more featured you know, collections in the near future. Next up here we have our featured custom pop artist, and this time it is Chilly Willy of Chilly Willy Custom. And I actually checked out his work on Instagram. I feel like I may have seen it previously, and then as I was trying to catch up to some artists again for this series, came across Chilly Willy again. So yeah, let's go and take a look at some of the work that he has here, including these two up front here. He has this mashup here between Winnie the Pooh and Deadpool, which he refers to as Deadpoo. Okay, so that one is pretty cute there. And then he also has a metallic paint job on Cable there. And behind them, of course, you can see some Marvel Legends figures, which I really need to learn to display Marvel Legends figures out of box, how to pose them and everything. I actually would like to do a review of a Marvel Legends figure sometime in the near future on my channel, so I may have to watch a video on how exactly to pose them basically. But yeah, I like that he actually has the pops there mixed in with the Marvel Legends. Again, I just like to see variety within collections. So next up here we have a 10-inch Pikachu with a glitter paint job, which looks pretty clean there. Then he also has a metallic Thanos pop there, and I think he went for the old school colors on Thanos there, the very classic comic colors. And the Infinity Stones are actually represented there by crystals. So yeah, he actually took his time with that one and made it very look authentic to I guess you would say the old school look of Thanos within the comics. So that is pretty cool there. And I like that he is mixing things up. Of course, he does glitter paint jobs, metallic paint jobs, and he does flocking as well, which people always ask what flocking is. New collectors, that's basically when you see a flocked pop, that means that it has that soft material on it that is meant to represent either hair or fur, and we will see an example of that with one of Chilly Willy's customs. So next up here, some more glitter paint jobs. We see Harley Quinn there. We also see Deadpool the Duck, I think his name is, or some people say Duckpool. I like this Deadpool that he has there as well, because he actually customized him to where he has a stick of dynamite in one hand. At the bottom there you see some glitter paint jobs on those Batman figures there, the red, white, and blue, of course. And then all the way to the right here we see Gambit. I know a lot of custom artists have done a great job with some custom Gambit pops, and this one actually he says it has glow in the dark features. I believe the eyes, and then on the fire on the cards as well, which I would love to actually see glow in the dark picture of that. So hopefully Chilly Willy will share that on his Instagram at some point. So next up here we have Jules from Pulp Fiction, which is a pop that I really like. I actually had the original pop in my collection. I like the way that he did the box here as well. He actually has a Tasty Burger logo there on the box, and of course Jules is holding a burger there. And this is the pop where he actually has a flocked version of it with Jules' hair, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I really do like this pop here. I think this is one of my favorite customs that he has done. The next pop here, this is one that he actually created for his wife. So we have here Joan Jett of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, and he actually showed the process kind of on Instagram of how he put this pop together. I think he used one of the pops from Alias, I believe, to get this started, and he did have to add on to the hair to make it work and everything. So yeah, again, definitely put the work in there, and that is very sweet that this is something that he did for his wife. Next up here for Biggie and Pac fans, we have some pretty cool customs here. He has those 24K or the gold versions there of Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. And then he also has these West Side versions of Tupac there, where he's actually making the West Side W with one hand, and then you see what he's doing with the other hand there if you look closely. But yeah, I think it really gives off that Tupac attitude, so I definitely like those customs there as well. And time will tell if Funko is going to do more with Tupac. I'm not sure at this point what is happening with the rights. Obviously they've been able to do more with Notorious B.I.G., but that's two separate estates, two very separate things. So we'll see what happens with Tupac in the future with Funko. And next up here we have a Day of the Dead Mickey Mouse, and what I really like about this custom is the skull that he's actually holding. He's actually holding a Mickey Mouse skull there, which is a pretty twisted detail. I like that though. And then you see a glitter painted Elvira there with the gold glitter going on, and I really like the way that he has that displayed as well with the skulls next to it. So Chilly Willy also did send an email as well, and I do want to share what he had to say here. It says, "My name is Willie. I live out in Staten Island, New York. I work for the Department of Education as a paraprofessional. I do custom pops on the side as a hobby. I'm a collector as well, pops and Marvel Legends. I guess that's how I got into it. figured if they didn't have a figure I want, I'll just make it. I started doing pops about 3 years ago. I did a custom Tupac in a box for someone. It came out good, if I do say so myself. From there, it just kept going. I just started doing glitter and flocking. It's definitely a challenge. I give credit to the pros like Queen Bee Customs. And of course, I have featured Queen Bee Customs previously. They do great work. You know, they're pretty good at the glitter paint jobs, metallic paint jobs, and the flocked jobs as well. Which whenever I see a flocked pop, I'm like, yeah, that definitely seems like a lot of work. So Chilly Willy, I definitely wish you the best with that. And you all, please do make sure that you check him out on Instagram. You see, it's at Chilly Willy Custom on Instagram. You know, check out his work. You know, like some of his work. And if you're interested, I think he does do commissions. You know, still does commissions. So definitely hit him up if you are interested in getting a custom from him. And one more time, Chilly Willy, thank you so much for sharing your work with us. Finally, here we have our featured YouTuber, and this time it is Lady Dazed. I want to say that I discovered Lady Dazed channel via Melissa Lady Funko. I'm not 100% sure though, but I think that's how I came across her channel, and I checked out a couple of videos, and she just seems like a very sweet, very genuine person. I know she does a lot of live streams, and she'll hang out and chat with people. She's very interactive, you know, with her audience. So yeah, that's definitely a cool aspect of her channel. But as usual, I don't want to say too much about her channel. I really want to give her the chance to speak for herself. So let's go ahead and hear what she has to say.
Hello everyone, my name is Gwen. I'm from the channel Lady Dazed, and I'd like to take a second to say thank you, Franklin, for including me in your FM's Funko features. You are one of the channels that inspired me to start my own, so this whole thing is super cool, and I thank you. I'm from Chicago. If you hear that noise right now, it's the L train. It runs behind my house. There's literally nothing I can do about it. I'm also not the most technological person on the planet, so all my videos are done via my smartphone, shot, edited, uploaded, all through my phone. I like to collect Funko Pops, obviously. My first Funko Pops ever was about 2015. I went to WalkerStalkerCon because I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead, and they were selling blind boxes of this set of 6, minus this guy right here. These, and every so many boxes you got a signed pop, and I was a fan, so I was like, yes please. And I ended up with a signed Scott Wilson. He was the guy who played Herschel. I immediately took the Glenn Rhee from this line over to Stephen Yeun's booth and got it signed. It's a little harder to see because it's on the window. And so my first 6 pops were the ones in this set, and 2 of them I got signed. From there I was hooked, started collecting all of the pops. Isn't that what we do? I also collect other figs. I got these McFarlane Walking Dead figs. I have almost everyone in this line except for the Negan. And I also collect, because I'm a huge fan of horror, Living Dead dolls. And here's one of Mr. Freddy Krueger. I love him. My most favorite pop, though, I have to say, is a 6-inch, and it's Ludo from the movie Labyrinth. I love Jim Henson. He is my childhood. Here's the train again. I'm sorry. See, it's every 5 minutes. If you're from Chicago, you understand. It's by Ludo. I love Jim Henson. Again, he was my childhood. Labyrinth is my favorite movie of all time. I also enjoy Dark Crystals, The Muppet Show, Sesame Street. He was a legend. So yes, this is my favorite pop. I also collect comics. I do videos on those. Here are some pickups I've done recently. This one's really good. I just recently purchased the second one. Haven't read it, so I don't have an opinion yet. This first one, really good. I collect mostly Marvel comics, but I do have some DC as well. What else? What else can I say? Yeah, so my channel is mostly just me sitting at a camera, talking about things I like. I do vlog sometimes my days, depending on what we're doing. The most fun I've had so far, though, is every Friday and Sunday, I do live stream around 10 o'clock, subject to change, because I have kids. I'm a mom. So around 10 p.m. Fridays and Sundays, I will go live. Sundays we talk about The Walking Dead usually, but we teeter off into other subjects. And then Fridays it's just, you know, a safe space for people to hang out and talk about whatever you like. You know, we talk about movies and music and pop culture, and you know, we just talk nerdy. And that has been the most fun. I found a lot of I want to consider friends via that. And I also take that time, especially on Fridays, to like shout out a smaller channel. And I am by no means a big channel, but I do use, you know, this platform I have to shout out smaller channels, because if you have nobody watching your videos or commenting or like hanging out with you, you know, what's the point? So that has been the most fun, and I found some really cool people doing that. And yeah, so my name's Gwen. The channel's Lady Dazed. If you like things nerdy, check me out. And again, thank you, Franklin. You're awesome. We need more people like you in the world. Love, peace. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So Lady Dazed, thank you for sharing with us, you know, some details about your channel. And you all, please do make sure that you check out her channel. I will link it down below. You like the content, you like what you see, then make sure that you do subscribe and support her. You know, I'm always big on that, you know, trying to support YouTubers, especially YouTubers that are consistent with putting out content, and she has been pretty consistent with it. And this does take a lot of work, you know, as always. So that's why I always appreciate people that are very consistent with keeping that content flowing. So that is going to do it for this edition of FM's Funko Features. I've already started work actually on the next one. I pretty much know where I'm headed with that one, who's going to be featured in it. So yeah, I'm going to keep this series moving along. Like I said, as long as the support is strong, then I will try to keep it going. There's been some hiccups here and there behind the scenes with getting, you know, submissions in and all of that. So, you know, I'm gonna play it by ear pretty much, but I definitely have a couple more episodes at least in the works, you know, so be on the lookout for those. Please make sure that you drop a like on this video, you know, share the video if you really enjoyed it. I look forward to checking out your comments. Again, thanks to everybody that contributed to this video, and I'll talk to you all again real soon.